Hey guys, thank you so much for stopping by the garden today. We're going to go over my Dracaena plants because we have a Janet Craig compactica here and a Dracaena Warneckii. And this is a variegated type. This is just a regular green type and they're getting so big. And I started getting some yellowing on them. So I just wanted to do this video for you and explain reasons why yellowing happens because I know it's very common. And one of the main reasons why yellowing happens to me is because of water that I didn't let sit out from the faucet for at least 24 to 48 hours. I always let faucet water sit out because that's going to let all them chemicals in here that's harmful to your plants, especially fluoride. Fluoride is so harmful to Dracaenas, and so are other harmful chemicals in there like chlorine and chloramine. We have a lot of those chemicals here in Florida, Zone 9B. So I always fill up my jugs. I like to recycle all my jugs, little lids so I can put them under my containers and stuff like that. Anything we buy from the store, any lids I can use, I recycle everything. So I always fill up my containers and I always have water ready to go because I use it a lot for a lot of different plants that I grow. My air plants are sensitive to faucet water as well that hasn't been sitting out. So sitting out with that cap off is going to let all those chemicals float out of the top for you. And then you know it's okay to water your plants. And I water my Dracaenas from the top just like this. You can just go ahead, water from that top spout. Let it trickle down all the way to the bottom. You'll see it trickle down the foliage to the stem. It's really pretty. And then you can go ahead and water your plant. Now, I don't water too much. I just water until that water seeps out of the bottom, catches in the tray, and I let it sit in the tray for about 5 minutes. And I let it suck up the adequate water it needs because any dry spots in that soil, it's going to suck that water up that's in that tray underneath. And after 5 or 10 minutes, you can then go ahead and discard any of that water underneath, or you can reuse it for your other plant. Just water soil with another plant with it. I always recycle my water and stuff if I can. So that's one of the main reasons I get yellowing for the water. So be careful with the watering. And then I definitely let this soil dry out completely all the way to the bottom and stay dry because another reason I get yellowing is from overwatering. Just keeping that soil moist for too long. These plants love to be in a well-draining soil. 50% cactus soil and 50% potting mix is what I use, and they do pretty good. Now the reason why I'm getting yellowing, another reason, these are going to be the main 3 reasons I get yellowing, is because of root aphids. And this is the reason why I got this yellowing up my Dracaena plant right here on my right ear left, I believe. And this plant started getting the yellowing up in the middle, and that's no good. If it's on the bottom, you know, these plants are going to lose leaves eventually. You can just pull your leaves down and they'll come right off. But you know, when it's happening in the middle, something else is going on. It can be too root bound, or you can have the overwatering problem or bugs, pests. I use 100% neem oil from Dynagrow. I love it. It's neem seeds out of the neem tree, and they press the seeds, and that's how they get the oil. And it works great with a little 1/4 teaspoon of dish soap in there, and I use 2 tablespoons per gallon of water. I get it from Dynagrow or Amazon. You can get it from anywhere really. You can just type it in online. I'll try to post Dynagrow's link below just so you can get it through them, and the Amazon link that I got mine from, so you guys know where to get it. And that's what I use for the pests, and it controls aphids, root aphids, and spider mites. Spider mites are going to be oval with white on them, and they're going to leave webbing on your plants in between your leaves and stuff, especially on the undersides. So you definitely want to inspect your plant for those. And then the aphids are going to be pear-shaped. They're really microscopic. They're so small you can hardly see them. But the aphids are microscopic and they're pear-shaped. So if you see something pear-shaped and they're red, black, brown, white, and gray, the aphids I have are gray, and they're root aphids. So root aphids are cousins of the aphids, but they're still aphids. So taking care of them is the same thing with the neem oil, 2 tablespoons per gallon of water, with that little bit of dish soap in there, and then you shake it up real good. And as you're spraying your leaves, tops, bottoms, everywhere on this plant needs to get sprayed, and then the soil needs to be treated thoroughly with a watering all the way through with that neem oil. And that'll control the pest for at least 2 to 4 weeks. You can treat on a preventative every 2 to 4 weeks or so. And I know that when I do that, it's going to kill out all the eggs, all the aphids, all the spider mites. And that's where, you know, if you're seeing bugs on your foliage, it's mostly where the bugs come from, your soil. So treating the soil is very important to control the bugs and stuff like that as well. I hope this video really helped you guys in the best way possible. As far as care, we'll just go over care real quick. They require indirect but bright light to grow in, that 50% cactus soil, 50% potting soil, and I let that soil dry out completely all the way to the bottom, and I let it stay dry for a little while. If you're planting in plastic like this one is, it's in a 2.5 gallon pot. You can see she's getting huge. This Dracaena has gotten so big. Do you see this? She's like almost as big as my head. She's almost as wide as my head, I should say, but she's getting so big I'm going to have to stabilize her. But you definitely just want to let that soil stay dry for a long time. And if you're planting in a plastic container, it's going to dry out a lot slower than a ceramic container. So definitely check that. And I just let these two dry out completely. I let them stay dry, and I just forget about them for a little while. And then I go back to them and water again thoroughly from the top. Thank you so much for being here, you guys. I hope this answered all your questions and helps you fix your Dracaenas and just keep them healthy in the best way possible. If you need any help, I'm always here for you, and I love what I do. Thank you so much for stopping by again, and I'll see you next time out in the garden. Bye-bye.